Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. I'm your host, Kiera Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera, and today, guys, I am really excited. I actually have two practicing dentists on the show today. I've got Dr. Offut and Dr. Shah-Khan. They are part of the dental GPO. So if you don't know what a GPO is, like I didn't know what a GPO is, you guys are in for an amazing treat. I'm excited for them to help the general dental practices compete with the DSO. So I'm super excited to welcome both of our doctors and guests to the show. How are you guys today?
Doing great, Kiera. I appreciate the chance to come and talk with you and your listeners. I think if the A-team listeners will be forever shaken by what we're going to tell them tonight. It'll blow their minds because if they haven't been exposed to a GPO and the benefits of the group, the power of the group, it'll be stunning to them. So let's go.
Let's rock and roll. Dr. Shah-Khan, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Kiera? Thank you for having us. Like Dr. Offut said, we really look forward to talking with you and your listeners and educating them a little bit on what the GPOs are and kind of why they will help independent practice and kind of what we did to found Synergy years ago.
That's awesome. So you guys kind of take it away. I don't know who wants to lead the discussion, but I'm excited because I really do believe that the power of multiple practices really can help the solo practitioners win right now. And I think that is something that's very contrary. I think DSOs are the hot topic, the hot buzzwords in today's world right now. I think that's where a lot of dentists are feeling like, how do I even compete? How do I stay competitive? How do I afford to bring on team members when I don't have the masses like the corporate practices have and the DSOs have? So guys, I'm going to let you guys riff. I'll jump in and chime in, but go ahead and just kind of let us know about Synergy. Sure. and how you guys created that.
Sure, I'll start a little bit.
You want to lead? You want me to lead off for you?
Yeah, I'll start a little bit with the background. Good. So, 13 years ago, kind of how Synergy started is I'm an independent practitioner, and there's an independent practitioner right across the hall from me, and him and I were sitting down looking at invoices, and we do fairly similar things. And I was looking at what he was paying for something, and he was looking at what I was paying for something. And for practices the same size, same zip code, same region, we were paying drastically different amounts for the same stuff from two major distributors. And we were like, something has got to give here. There has to be a way to level the playing field and allow independent guys like us to remain competitive. There's obviously tremendous fragmentation in the dental industry. And we felt like there were certain distributors and suppliers that were taking advantage of independent practitioners. So I kind of went to Dr. Offut and we were talking about it at lunch one day, and I was like, hey, I've got this idea. The world's largest medical GPO is called Premier, and it's located in Charlotte, North Carolina, where Dr. Offut and I are from. I was looking at kind of what their model is, and I was like, if they can band medical practitioners together and leverage their buying power, why can't we do it in dentistry? And why can't we help independent practitioners stay competitive? So Dr. Offut and I sat down and started kind of working on this. And, we came up with the concept of Synergy, utilizing a GPO in dentistry to help preserve independent practice and allow the doctors to have alternatives to when we did it was more corporate dental groups than DSOs, and allow them to have an alternative to remain competitive, to remain independent, and to help the practice thrive and the profession thrive and not kind of go down the same path that medicine did where there was tremendous consolidation. So that's kind of where Synergy came from. And, over time, obviously, we started it with Dr. Offut's practice and my practice. So there were two of us. And we've grown to, about 4,000 practices across the country. And it's, it's been a good thing to help practitioners. And, kind of our whole thought is by banding together and being together and leveraging the buying power while still having autonomy in how you run your practice, you can have the advantages of the DSOs and the corporate dental groups, but still be the type of practitioner that you wanted to be in dental school.
Yeah, I love that. Dr. Offut, do you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah. When we started Synergy, we were rocking right out of the financial crisis, right? And the dentists and every business, they were really having to find efficiencies. And so as independent dentists, we and Dr. Shah-Khan had this fabulous idea of let's be a group. There's strength in a group, exactly as you said, Kiera. That it's one of the things that we've always marketed is that everything is easier with a partner, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why we have teams, right? That A team, right? Everything's easier with a partner. So the Dr. Shah-Khan had this idea, and whenever you start a company, you kind of go east a little bit, and then you go, golly, maybe we should go southeast, and maybe we should actually flip it around and go west. And so we came to what Synergy was to be, and has grown into a world-class company that offers world-class products at group purchasing pricing, and we have always had the mantra that if Dr. Shah-Khan and I won't use it in our practices, we're not going to sell it to our members. Okay, if we can't read the writing, we're not going to. It probably shouldn't be putting it in our patients, right? Mm-hmm. And so we had the concept of world-class products at group pricing with the strength of the group. Yeah. And as I said, everything is always easier with a partner. So what I would say to actually shake the world of your people is that when they finish listening to you today, they must promise themselves they will never again pay full retail for dental supplies and dental services. There's just no reason to do that. So that's kind of my goal in chatting with you, is if we can get your folks to come to that consensus for themselves that they will never pay full retail, then all of a sudden they can do amazing things with their profitability.
Absolutely. And that's something that I really love. And our listeners know I am always pro. If there's an easier, smarter way to do it, why would you not do it? I remember in pharmacy school, my husband and I were very poor. We didn't have a lot of expendable cash, if you will. I think you guys remember being in dental school. And during that time, we could actually go and do price matching at Walmart for all of our shopping, which I don't know if you guys remember price matching. It was like a hot thing in 2011, 12, 13 range. And I would literally walk in with all of my coupons and I would get cereal and all of the things on ridiculously discounted prices. And it was super annoying for me to walk in with all of mine. I felt very dumb going to the grocery store, but we did not have money. And I'm like, if I'm going to afford groceries, I'm going to be price matching. So I feel like it's very similar, except for you guys have made it a lot easier. Can you guys kind of walk them through like what types of things are in the GPO, what types of products and services and supplies and all of that they can have access to? Because I think oftentimes the reason people don't take action, the reason people don't want to join something this is there's the uncomfortable questions of like, well, what is this exactly? What would I be saving on? Because I think that they're smart enough to know that there are ways to get discounts. They know it's out there. They know that buying groups are really powerful. But what types of products, services, things do you guys have within your buying group that you're able to help leverage?
Kiera, I have to say something off the top, and that is that the very best people on the planet to buy for us to sell dental supplies to are couponers, right? Okay. When you walked into Walmart with your coupons, you would be perfect for me to sell dental supplies to, because all I have to do is show you the way and you're there.
Exactly. That's why I thought it would be a relevant story, because I felt like it was me couponing, trying to get my best deals. And yet what's cool about that is I actually, because I did that, and I'll just share like the fun side of it, my husband and I were able to go to Europe twice, and I was able to put $50,000 down on his loans while only working as the solo provider at the dental college. So I wasn't making high salaries, but I will attribute it to being scrappy, saving money, and then being able to use those funds for things I really wanted, like going to Europe. So that's kind of what I would hope people take away from this is an easier way for you guys to save money and spend that money on things that you would rather do than buying dental supplies. I mean, unless you get excited about it.
I generally don't like traffic. I generally don't like being in traffic jams. But one of the things I enjoy most is pulling up behind a Walmart truck that says, save money, live better.
Right.
I mean, is that not what we're talking about here?
Yes.
So anyway, Dr. Shah-Khan, I don't mean to cut you out of the topic, but I get it going.
That's okay.
It's hard to reel it back in.
Well, the one thing I was going to say, Kiera, I think what you're saying is exactly what Dr. Offut has talked to plenty of practices about. When we started this, he would talk to practice and they'd be like, well, I have Jane up front. And what Jane will do is she'll take the 3 catalogs out and she'll look for the best pricing. And so we'll buy X from this company and this from this company and this from this company. And we're like, hey, what Synergy is Synergy is the price match organization for you. Because what we are trying to do is we're trying to go ahead and source the best pricing for you. We've negotiated with the manufacturers and with the distributors to get you that best price. And now it might not be the best price on every single item that you get, but the overall savings are going to be very significant. And you don't have to do the price matching. You have to, you have the resources and you should have the confidence that our professional staff is on your side and we're looking to make sure you're getting the best pricing on that sort of stuff.
We have your back. We've got your back on this. So rather than having your employees spend, Friday afternoon going through catalogs and going online to 4 or 5 different sites, let the GPO do that. Let Synergy do that for you. I mean, we have an expert in procurement, and that's all he does for us is go through the catalogs and figure out what the best prices are. But getting to the point that you asked, what we tried to do, Kiera, when we started the company was Dr. Shah-Khan and I, we dovetailed perfectly. He's a restorative dentist, a very fine restorative dentist. I think, and I was a surgical guy, I think a very good surgeon. And so what we tried to do was cover all aspects of everything that you need to run your dental practice. Yes, dental supplies are but a significant part, but I shouldn't say a small part. But so too is credit card processing, HR services, office supply services, lab services, in terms of dental labs. I mean, we spend 13, 14, well, maybe if you're not a CIRAC office, you'd spend that amount of percentage of your total on labs. I mean, I can help you take 25% of that straight to the bottom line. And I've told doctors this for years. I go, look, I can't help you do this, that, or the next thing, but I can help you fund your retirement plan. And I can help you pay your kids' tuition. Because if I can take 4 or 5% right to the bottom line across dental supplies, dental services, and labs, that's a lot of money for most of us that are independent dentists, right? Mm-hmm. So that was kind of our goal, is how do we comprehensively manage all the things that we spend money on? And so we have built Synergy that way, and we have a real cool option to how our members can access that. We have a portal for our members, and I call it the place where all things Synergy live. Okay, that's where everything lives. It lives in the portal, so that our docs can log on with their account, go on to the portal. They can see our whole portfolio of vendors and services and contact information and how-tos and whys and how comes, and it lets them have their own world of procurement right there at one stop, and it's fabulous, and it's one of those things that what would be great here is if we could give you a demo of that, or get one of our folks to give you a demo just so you can see it, because it's really cool. And it all of a sudden, instead of a stack of catalogs and websites, you've got it right in front of you at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
And Kiera, kind of our goal was to really provide world-class products and everything that you need to operate your practice, everything you throw away, everything you utilize, all the consumables. So our initial goal was, to be able to have a breadth of consumable dental supplies. And where we looked at it, we didn't want to have one type of composite or one type of bonding agent or things like that, because we knew that dentists, if you took 8 of us, or let's say the 3 of us are sitting right here, we would all use 3 different composites, 3 different bonding agents, because they all handle differently in everybody's hands. So our goal was to be able to have a model that we worked with the distributors to be able to have access to all those products. So our goal is for our docs to be able to have access to everything they want. If they want to use Kerr, use Kerr. If you want to use 3M, use 3M. If you want to use Ivocor, use Ivocor. So that's kind of our goal. And so the consumable dental supplies was the original anchor that we had. And then we expanded into providing implants. Dr. Offut, obviously from a surgical perspective, kind of led the charge on getting us some implant partners. We have rotary diamond partners. We have, as Dr. Offut said, we have lab partners, and we have HR partners, credit card processors. So we try to provide a palette of opportunities for doctors to utilize to help their practice.
Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera, and you guys, how was your 2022? I want you to look back and tell me, was it the year of years, or was it a really hard year? Did you crush it, or did it crush you? This is the time, guys, for end of year, Dental A-Team Platinum is welcoming you, where we will physically fly to your practice. We will come and we will elevate your dreams and make them into a reality. And guys, space is limited and prices are going up. This is not a sales pitch. This is not something where I'm trying to scare you into it. I'm just facing the reality of inflation is here, flights are expensive, and I want to see as many people as we possibly can and serve as many as we can. So if you want to be part of our elite group of people, there are limited spaces because our consultants can only see as many. We are taking on 10 new platinum offices by the end of the year, and that's it. That's all we have space for. So if you want to be one of the elite 10, come join us. Be a part of our top-notch elite doctor community. Be a part of our office manager and hygiene and front office communities. Get your operations manual done and live the life that you've only been dreaming of today. Email me hello@thedentalatteam.com and make 2023 truly a year that's unforgettable. We are a complete tax write-off. And like I said, we are only taking 10 offices. So don't get left behind. Be one of those 10. And I cannot wait to give you the biggest, warmest welcome to completely and utterly changing your life for good. Welcome to the Dental A-Team. I can't wait for you to join us. hello@thedentalatteam.com. Cheers to 2023 and making you your best self yet. Which is really awesome because working at the dental college for years, they no dentist is the same. And you guys, it doesn't matter on treatment planning. It's all different. You guys, you put 10 dentists together and say treatment plan this and you get a different variety. Working with lots of dentists, myself as an assistant, y'all do it a little bit differently. And so to be able to pick and choose the things at an affordable price, I think is super, super valuable. And I love that you guys have expanded it because when I look at people's P&Ls, when I'm going through it with offices we consult, supplies, labs, office, credit card processing, those are top pieces that I feel are low-hanging fruit because there are so many ways to save money in those areas that if you just took a little bit of time, which it doesn't even have to be that hard, utilizing groups like yourself, can really save a lot of dollars. So how does it work exactly? They sign up for a membership with you guys, and then is it like they go to the catalog? Are there ratings on the different products so they know what it is? Is everything like, you know how dentists are, they love their Patterson, they love their Dentrix, their Henry Schein, they love all their reps, they love all their lab people. So it's like a hard breakup that way. But like, can they get access to those same products that they're used to loving? Can they find other ones? Like, how does it work? Because I could see myself feeling overwhelmed if there's 700 different composites that I've got to choose from. I'm like, I'll just go back to my Shine rep because they know which one I like and they can get it for me. So how does it work to be a member of your guys' group?
Well, it's kind of the same.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Dr. Shah-Khan.
I was just gonna, it's kind of the same thing with choice of restorative material. So, if you like, 3M's Filtex Supreme, 3M's Filtex Supreme is sold by Patterson, it's sold by Shine, it's sold by Benco, it's sold by Darby. You can get it from anybody. So we partner with distributors and manufacturers who provide the discounted opportunities for our members. So our main supply partner is Darby Dental Supply. They were the ones that we partnered with initially when we kind of came out of the gate, and have been great partners for us. So Darby provides all of those supplies. Now, essentially, you would go on to the Darby website and you would order products similar to if you weren't a member of Synergy, or similar to if you were using Henry Schein and you go to Henry Schein's website. And when you would log in, you would see the contracted pricing that we have for our members. And they would be able to, for every item, all 40,000 SKUs. So they would be able to see and choose kind of from those things. And then we also have a team of inside sales reps at Darby that help our members and function as their representatives. We also utilize a procurement tool called Method. And Method is an interesting thing, because you'll see a lot of these softwares, these procurement softwares that are out there that allow members to kind of go on and they can enter all their credentials. They can enter their Henry Schein credential. They can enter their Darby credential. They can enter the other things. And when they go and they look for Filtex Supreme, it'll bring up Filtex Supreme through all of those manufacturers and and the distributors, and it'll show you the pricing on them. And then you can go in and, even though we have a partnership with Darby and we think that the pricing is probably going to be the best from there, if you see it from somebody else, you can go through Method and you can order the product that is the cheapest for you, and you don't have to do searching. You're just able to see it kind of automatically on there.
Yeah, the Method procurement software, another cool little thing about that is that because it's kind of it replaces having the stack of catalogs sort of thing. And that also then we've been able to negotiate more heavily discounted. There are several hundred more heavily discounted products that are offered through Method that are not offered through our regular sales conduit. So it's one of the things of the power of the group. I mean, I can't say that enough times, is that the power of the group really makes a difference. And so between the portal where they can see all of our vendors, between the ordering software, which all of our members have access to use if they so choose, it's a pretty cool thing. You can all of a sudden you simplify this purchasing person's job, and their life just gets a lot better. But I always like this example, is that whenever you have a buying group, and I love Walmart, I love Costco, so I'm just using Costco as an example. When you join Sam's Club or you join Costco, it's the banding together of all these purchasers. And we all pay a small fee to be able to go into Costco and get the benefits of all their products and their wonderful food, or whether it be at Sam's Club or whatever group you want. And there always is typically a small fee. We are no different in that. So our members, they pay a small monthly fee, and they have access to this myriad of opportunities to save money. And I think you have to be, for your listeners, they need to just be very pragmatic. They need to look at it and say, am I saving more money today than I did the other day? And if the answer is yes, then it's all good, I don't think we've had anyone that's come to use us, Dr. Shah-Khan, that we've said, oh, stay with us, but spend more money. I don't think we've had that. So it's a pretty good formula of how to make it work. So it's the coming together, forming the group, building your team. I think those are the bottom line to a buying group. Dr. Shah-Khan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, and Kiera, you had brought up, if you're a Shine rep that you have confidence in, and this, that, and the other. Now, the difference in joining a group and joining a group like Synergy is, we don't have a partnership with Henry Schein. We don't have a partnership with Patterson. Our partnership on the consumable dental supplies is through Darby Dental Supply. So if you're married to Patterson, then the consumable dental supply opportunity is not going to be something that you really save appreciably on, because to save, you need to work with Darby Dental Supply, who's a world-class distributor of dental supplies. And they carry 40,000 SKUs. So those are the little changes that you have to look at. But, if you only want to use a certain implant company, and maybe we don't have a partnership with that implant company, then, we can't provide you exactly what you're looking for. But you do get opportunities to work with world-class products and world-class implants. We have a partnership with Comet, who makes world-class rotary diamonds. So if you want to use Comet products, we have that opportunity for you. So there are some give and takes that you do have to look at, and that is really the main one. But Dr. Offut and I never viewed that as something where you're at a disadvantage. The advantage is you have good partners who are willing to partner with Synergy and are willing to provide our docs with great opportunities.
For sure. And I think that that's just the piece of, I know people love their reps, but I'm glad that you mentioned that of, if you kind of can branch out. I know at the dental college when I worked there, we had only Ivoclar products, and I just thought, oh gosh, you guys are going to be in for a treat when you get out of the dental world and you're paying for these. You might not consider Ivoclar. But the bottom line is, there are other products and there are other things that might be as good. They might not be as good. I know Luxitemp, when we were making temps, like, you do not go away from Luxitemp. Your temps will be junk. And so I was like, you stick with that. But there's a lot of other products that I know can be just as good, if not better. So I really love that you guys brought that up of having it. And I would ask the question to you guys of, what is the average savings that you're finding that most offices are saving with their supplies, with their labs, with their office fees, like across the board? I know, Dr. Offut, you had mentioned it being like, you said, if I could add 4% to your bottom line. So I was curious if 4% tends to be what it is. What do you guys tend to see as the average savings?
Tends to be in the neighborhood of 18 to 22% across the board. Now, some vendors you may save 30% on. Some vendors it may be 14%. And so when I'm talking with doctors for all these years about this, I encourage them, yes, to use our anchor vendor, use Darby. You'll save a ton of money on world-class products, but use the vendors across our platform. Because some of them, the savings are phenomenal, much greater than some of the service providers, especially. The discounts are quite large. Some of our dental, the more independent dental companies that make specific products, rotary instruments, impression materials, those things, sometimes their savings are incredible. But the unique thing about Synergy, and a GPO in particular, is that we don't have a formulary that the doctors have to buy from. They can buy anything they want, like you're saying when you were at the university. Is that at the university you've got this material and you use it, right. Okay? But when you're out in the world, in the real world, you get to choose, and it's nice to be able to save money on everything, mm-hmm. Right? It's that thing that I kind of opened with off the top, is that. Your listeners, I want them to just tell themselves today that they will never again pay full retail pricing for dental supplies. It's just unnecessary, and that'd be my takeaway, Dr. Shah-Khan.
Sure. So Kiera, let's just look at a $1 million practice. $1 million practice, they average 6% on consumable dental supplies, clinical supplies. So as an independent practitioner, I obviously track these things. Once I started working with Synergy, my supply costs went down from about 6.5 to, I peak around in about the 2.72 to 3.2 range. So let's call it 3% on $1 million. What's that? $30,000 mm-hmm. annually. So that's, and some people are like, well, $30,000 isn't that much. And I was like, well, $30,000 funds your pension, pays your
kids' tuition.
Kids' tuition. There are a lot of things that you can do with $30,000.
But it's also $30,000 on product you would have already been buying anyway.
Right.
that you can get it. Like, that's where I think people, it's like, yeah, it's 30,000 on things. Like, if I told you could buy, I don't know, we'll say toilet paper, like, and it's the exact same one, and you can pay me $10, or with this coupon, you can get it for $5. I just don't understand why you would ever want to pay $10 unless you just like the status of knowing I paid full price. So if that's your style, then I don't think this is your jam. But otherwise, I'm like, it's the exact same thing, and you're saving 30 grand a year. Oh gosh, I could do a lot with 30 grand.
Kiera, that's just on the supplies. Now, right. Dr. Shah-Khan is an outstanding practitioner, is on top of all of his game, but the under 3% was pretty much where many of our offices took that. So then layer on your savings at a dental lab, and so what over all of those things, you can take the 4 or 5% straight to the bottom line. If you're saving 18 to 22% top line, when you take that, by the time you go through the mill and it gets down to how much does that change the doctor's life, it's pretty substantial. Mm-hmm. You know, I had 4 children, so I always thought about it in terms of tuition, right? And so the point is you know, $30,000, you know, pays a kid's college tuition, right? Mm-hmm. And so you know, I think those things, if we can help change the lives of the independent dentist just by helping them just be more successful financially. Anyway, we can't change what they do professionally, but we can change how they do financially.
Right.
I think that our Dr. Shah-Khan will look at each other and say, "Job well done." Mm-hmm. You know, is that's what we tried to do. That's what I had the good fortune of being able to listen to a couple of your podcasts, and that's exactly what you're doing, is you're trying to improve the quality of your listeners' lives.
Right. And that's why I was excited to bring you guys on, because again, if we can help you save money, that's things that you could then fund other pieces. So if it's you want to expand, you want to bring in different technologies, if you want to hire more people with the exact same product, you aren't changing it. You might have to change a thing here or there. But again, you don't have to buy everything through Synergy. If you love something that's not offered there, there's not a non-compete. You can still buy it if you would like to. But of the other things, saving that money, I'm just always pro finding ways. We actually, as a company, are looking to partner with buying companies, just because I feel like it's so silly as a consulting company not to. So guys, if people are interested, if they're like, yes, I'm not paying any more full price for my dental supplies, I'm interested in finding out more about Synergy, how do they connect with you guys?
They can visit our site and visit our website. We've actually just launched a new and very fancy revised website this last weekend. So hopefully all is cooking on all the burners, but they can visit that, and they can fill out a contact form, and then we'll reach out to them. Or they can call Dr. Shah-Khan or myself. I mean, we are very, very out there. Our information is everywhere on our site, and as founders of the company, we have fielded calls for forever, you know, and they're welcome to call us. But the probably the most efficient way is to go visit the website and complete the contact information, and one of our folks will contact them ASAP. I mean, we try to be very, very efficient and provide answers and solutions in a very timely manner.
Perfect. And that's the synergydentalpartners.com. Is that correct?
Correct.
Perfect. And the website is pretty snazzy. I'm on there right now. So there's let's chat. There's the phone number on there. Email is info@thesynergydp.com. And so guys, there's a very simple form for you to fill out right there. But surely tell them you heard about it on the Dental Team podcast, and stop paying full price, guys. Go fund something else. If nothing else, fund me and let me go on 1 million trips. Like, you guys can just take those savings and give it to me. So if that's not motivation enough, I would love to go.
If you don't want to send kids to school, send Kiera to Europe.
Exactly. I mean, I will happily take it. You guys can Venmo me. I will pay for your membership to get your savings. Like, I'll make you guys that deal. So, but Dr. Shah-Khan and Dr. Offut, thank you guys for being on here. Thank you for sharing. And dental offices, I just recommend. There's a lot of resources that I bring to you on the podcast. I vet them heavily. And if there's a way for you guys to save, you know, I'm always about sharing that with you. Save time, save money. company help your team, aka Kiera's in your office who had to order. This makes it a lot easier for them. So guys, take action. And as always, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time on the Dental 18 Podcast.
And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental 18 Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.